Down here at the analyst desk with the help of our esteemed panel of experts, OG and Castro Monte Cristo, Evil Geniuses Crepo, and CLG's Double Lift. Gentlemen, welcome back once again. All right, before we move forward into today's matches, let's first be kind and rewind to yesterday's 5 Group A matches and watch as the 5th and 6th teams qualify for quarterfinals.
Day 5 of the Season 3 World Championship kicked off with the Lemon Dogs Nuke Duck locking in Zed. But SKT's Faker had a plan.
We'll counterpick you with Riven, and Riven's going to stomp on that matchup. Faker's going to want to fight Nuke Duck, and Nuke Duck's not going to like the results.
Well...
Oh, Super gets straight in there. Oh, no. Faker's going to get caught out. Can he get taken down? Yes, he will! First blood going down to Taps.
Faker's mistake did not hold his team back, as SKT T1 dominated the mid-game to improve to 4-1.
Dexter's going to come back around. He catches 3 of them, gets flunked straight away. Zoro Zero comes in. Can they get the damage down? No, they can't. That's going to be a double for Piglet. Zoro Zero goes down as well. And now Nuke Duck's in all sorts of trouble. SK Telecom are cleaning up here. And wow, they just dominated Lemon Dog Zed. SK Telecom taking away their first game of the day here on day 5.
The undefeated OMG were up next, and true to form, they controlled the mid-game through tower dives, this time with some help from Tibbers.
Alan here, passive pop, Big Pamela tanking out that turret. The turret itself is low. Oh, perfectly timed. True shot barrage comes across from San. San comes in just at the end, mop-up duty.
It was a textbook win for OMG, who remained the only undefeated team in group play.
Good shockwave once again, pulling him in. Alan here tries to follow it up, but it's not going to happen. Fizz diving on towards the fountain, towards Mazarin. He will lock that one up. Shadow Dash coming in towards Alan here. Oh, taking a pillar laser from the fountain. Not quite going to be enough. It's OMG that pick up themselves the second win of the day. It is day 5, and they are now 5-0.
In the most anticipated match of the day, Team Solo Mid fought for their lives in a must-win game.
He's coming straight in there, uses the exhaust on impact, but it's not going to be enough. Hasn't got the damage down, and impact is the tower damage going to come down. It just might do it. Requiem's going to come down. Yes, he does. Oh. Gets the double down the bottom. Goes down in there. Piglet's also going to go down. A Wild Turtle picks it up.
Every time it looked like SKT T1 were about to pull ahead, TSM would have an answer.
We see one going down. It was X Special. The odd one has to back away from this one. Reggie is in trouble. He's running for his life, but it's going to be a double for Impact and a 3-4-0.
That's a 5v4 team, but here comes Wild Turtle.
Spray and pray going down, but it's not going to be enough. He dodges the counter strike. That's going to be 1 kill. Impact goes down. Mandu's going to be next. Can he get on towards him? No. He's going across wards. He's visible, but he's going to get away. It's a double kill with the poison tick.
But SKT would finally run away with the win, all but securing their spot in the quarterfinals.
Alex Special gets locked up. He goes down. Spray and pray coming across, but the crescendo's going to work out. Reginald does get in. He gets Faker down. That's going to be another one. We see another support dropping on the back there. Wild Turn's going away. No, will finish him off. Impact will pick up the kill. That will be the game for SK Telecom T1. The 3rd match of the day, and they go 2-0 for the day.
The Lemon Dogs were in complete control against Gaming Gear, and Kassadin's ninja delivery system put this game away.
Nuke Duck pops his shield and gets another one.
Seraph's Embrace into stand united, 100-0 in just under 2.5 seconds. Mazarin looking to go down here to 2 level 18s that want to party with him. And it looks like they got the Nexus in their eyes. Looks like they got the victory as well to go under the belt.
Lemon Dogs picks up a clean and decisive victory.
In the last game of the day, Loveland's Volibear got rolling early, and he could not be stopped.
Special tries to get it out. They go for him. He was the one that got the kill. They want the money from him. They flash forward. He gets the roar down, and it goes to San.
Oh, it's passive.
Turtle. Turtle trying to get up. No, Turtle baited into the Volibear passive. He looks like to fight this one out chin to chin, but he goes down with double uppercut.
TSM could not steal away a win, and OMG would secure the victory to improve the record to 6-0.
The true shot barrage was very close, but it goes to Loveland. The odd one tries to get it himself in, goes down as well.
This one looks to be over. OMG clinches a spot, I believe, in the quarterfinals. That means they are 6-0 now in the group stage, and this was probably their best game so far.
And with this now 30 games of League of Legends action in our rearview mirror, so let's now take a look at the Group A standings. OMG and SKT1 have locked in top 2 finishes. While their records are not finalized, their spots in the quarterfinals are.
Yeah, rounding out Group A, it is the Lemon Dogs and TSM tied at 2-4, with Gaming Gear still looking to take down their first Nexus.
All right, gentlemen, so give me your thoughts now. We're going to be talking about first the undefeated OMG. Guys, you know, there's a lot to talk about here. We'll keep it quick, but Chad, take it away.
Yeah, OMG plays
faster than anyone really expected them to, but more impressively, it's the way they are still unpredictable, because a lot of teams that are just overly aggressive teams can kind of wait and set traps, but that has not been successful for anyone against OMG.
Yeah, and I think when I watch their games, it seems to be the Loveland and Cool show. These guys are really solid. They're consistent, and the most important thing is that they're consistent playmakers. Generally, when you look at people who play solid every game, they don't want to go for those big, aggressive plays like Faker does. But these guys, they always do it. Just look at the last game where Loveland just ran a train on Volibear. But I am really concerned for their bot lane. They had trouble against Xpecial and Turtle, who are really good. But if they went up against Prey and Kane, for example, I think they would also have like a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit concerned for their bot lane. Now, they haven't had to pull out any big secrets yet because they've had such an easy time in the group stages, but I'm a little concerned with going as well. He's had a fantastic performance so far, but I'd like to see him try and carry a little bit harder out of the top lane. It would dimensionalize their play a little bit. That said, Loveland is just sensational at this event, and I mean, his ganks have just been spot on, and he really helps build those early kills that allow them to finish out the game. So he's my guy to watch for sure.
I totally have to agree. OMG is looking really strong. Their average game length is somewhere around 34 minutes. And a lot of these games are actually decided 5 or 6, 7 minutes even before they hit that. They close out the games really steadily, but they get so much advantage early into the game. They're playing so well so far.
All right, and another team we have to talk about, obviously the second team to clinch that quarterfinal spot, SKT T1. Monty, how are you feeling about these guys? It's been back and forth. You're saying they always have the upper hand in the best of 3, and they've seemed to fare well in the best of 1s here, so it could be in their favor.
Well, Koma did, we were talking about this yesterday, say that they had fixed their level 1 problems. He was kind of half right, because we still saw that really atrocious Faker Bush play at level 1 that set him to an early deficit against the Lemon Dogs. But we'll see how they fare further on. I'm interested to see later today their game versus OMG. They've never actually lost a series except against Ozone. So if they go 0-2 here, OMG would be only the second team to ever beat them.
Yeah, I mean, even though SKT is playing a little bit better right now, I still feel like they have a lot of exploitable weaknesses. They have a long way to go. I know coming into the tournament, a lot of us were thinking SK Telecom is the favorite to win. I'm starting to second-guess that after their group stage performance, but that might just be because they haven't ramped up yet.
They do have a long way to go, but I see their slow improvement from game to game. Especially their first couple games was really shaky. That you saw them lose horribly to OMG in the early game, and then you saw them lose horribly to TSM as well, just strategically. But then I see them fix their problems. You can't make drastic changes game by game, but I see it. It's like still slow and steady. I think by the time they make it to quarters or semis, they're going to be looking really, really strong.
While they have fixed some of their issues, they still drop the conceptual ball once in a while, especially with the 3v1 dives. It's still not on point. And yes, we can say they're improving, but then look at OMG. They don't even have to improve because they're already so good. Of course, Monte Cristo agrees that SKT1 still is the best one because Korean Hype Train. But I believe SKT1 can actually reach a higher level than OMG if they work on all of their issues.
All right, and really moving on here, before we get to SKT and Group A, the 5 teams of Group B will take to the Rift, so let's check out the standings heading into their matches. Up first, in first place, it's European Season 3 champions Fnatic with their EU LCS league mates Gambit, just 1 game back at 4-2.
In third place, it is a tie between Vulcan and Ozone, while Philippines team Mineski round out the standings.
And that's the way the standings look for now, but with 5 more games to go, the team's positions are not locked in just yet. While Fnatic needs only 1 more win to guarantee themselves a top 2 finish and a trip to quarterfinals, the race for second place is a lot closer than you might think. So who might be this race for second place, Monty?
Well, we still have, Gambit, Ozone, and Vulcan still up for grabs here, and that's why this first game that we're going to be seeing today is so important. Of course, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but out of the 3 teams, Ozone does have the softest schedule going up against Vulcan and Mineski, just looking at what's happened so far in this group. So I think that they'll be able to force some sort of tiebreaker scenario, but at this point, honestly, for me, I find Gambit's play much more exciting. Everything we've seen from Ozone so far when they've won has been stuff that I've seen them play many times in Korea, whereas the stuff that they've been trying out has been wildly unsuccessful due to just they look very uncomfortable on it. So if for the sake of the tournament, I have to say I'd rather see Gambit in the quarterfinals at this point because I find them more enjoyable to watch.
I mean, especially as far as experience playing on the world stage, Gambit has more so than most teams here. Maybe Fnatic can match them for that because some of them are at the Season 1 World Championships. But Gambit, even though they have a tough schedule today, are the ones that are actually in control of their own destiny right here. If they win out, they make it. Even if they lose and win 1, they will still most likely force a tiebreaker and can win that. And that's actually what I'm expecting them to do and make it out of the group.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any denying that Ozone has kind of disappointed people. Everyone was riding the hype train, oh my god, they're so good, and then they just kind of disappointed everyone. But I do think Gambit deserves to make it out of groups, but realistically, because Ozone is playing Mineski today and they essentially have a free win from that, they're probably going to go 2-0. They play Vulcan and Ozone today, and then Gambit, I think they're going to go 1-1, which would force a tiebreaker.
Yeah, coming from the European scene, we actually know a lot about ties. I'm starting to doubt my knowledge, though, because Monte Cristo probably surpassing me on the tie knowledge. Other than that, I do...
Wow.
I do think it's going to end up in a tie, most likely. Fnatic's looking sharp, they're looking ready, confident. Spoke to them earlier. They're probably going to take the game against Gambit, and looking at the schedule, it's very likely that it'll result in a tie. But then, I still think Gambit will come out on top afterwards.
All right, well, if you guys get it right, we actually end up with a tiebreaker match at the end of Group B. I will hook you up with some bonus points in the prediction contest.
I need them.
You do. It's okay. That's why we're giving you the bonus points. So let's take a look at the standings right now. After a perfect day 5 for the analysts and the viewers, congratulations. The fans remain on top with a 25-5 record. Pretty impressive. The casters and Monte Cristo aren't far behind, while Doublelift and Crepo are holding down the bot lane of the standings. You guys.
I'm so sad, dude. I'm so sad.
All right, everyone. Today is our last chance to make a run at the viewers, which is you guys being everyone. And lucky for you, we've got 10 games for you to do it in. So, Crepo, if you can keep the consistency going, you guys can catch up. Up first, it's Group B kicking it off with a battle between first place Fnatic and second place Gambit. Then Vulcan and Ozone fight to keep their quarterfinal dreams alive.
And this is so many games. After that one, we have Fnatic facing off against Mineski, followed by Alex and Gambit taking on Mancon and Vulcan. Then Ozone battles Mineski in the Group B finale. And
just a reminder, if there are 2 or more teams tied for a quarterfinal berth, we will be playing a tiebreaker match immediately following the Ozone and Mineski match to decide it. And once the B games are done, it's the A teams that turn to take the rift, beginning with the Lemon Dogs facing off against Team Solo Mid.
Then, after we've played our 5th and final Group A match, the captains of Cloud9, Royal Club, Najin Black Sword, and Gamma Bears will take to the stage to draw their opponents for the quarterfinal round.
So make sure you keep that browser locked into this channel after our final game to find out who will be playing whom in the quarterfinals. Gentlemen, it's time for you guys to pick your first match of the day. It's going to be Gambit versus Fnatic. Don't choose incorrectly.
Well, I'm going to pick Fnatic, mainly because they've beaten Gambit 5 times in a row, and I feel like they're going to be able to take it 6. Yes, Gambit is the team that always surprises people because they had a rough regular season and they were great here, but that one game against Fnatic was not close, and Fnatic seems to have their number.
I mean, I agree with you, Jad. The history, you can't deny it. They looked so dominant in the game that we saw earlier. That said, Gambit does have, you know, something to play for here.
They always do.
But we'll see. But I honestly want to see Fnatic take it and think they will. But I really want to see this tiebreaker just for the sake of epicness.
Gambit always has something to play for. They really dislike losing everywhere they go, so they will always show their A game. But at the same time, I will choose Fnatic, make that clear, because I think Fnatic, as they said, 5-0 in the standings already. And against Gambit, you just have to respect what they play. And if you respect what they play and you don't give them Shen and you don't give them Eve unless you have a plan for it, which I think Fnatic will have, then Fnatic is going to come out on top.
I also choose Fnatic because I think their wins are really overwhelming, whereas Gambit's games are kind of close. I don't think there's really any denying that Fnatic is really solid. Their play is super clean, and especially their versatility. They've shown they can play so much stuff, whereas Gambit, not so much.
All right, guys, so it seems pretty even here on the desk. Everybody going for Fnatic, so now that you've seen their picks, head over to lolesports.com.